Dive 687 on the USS Kanawha in the Florida Islands, Solomon Islands. This was part of a week-long liveaboard focused on World War II wrecks from February 2024. This was towards the start of our holiday and was one of the deeper wrecks we did at the start with a max depth of 40 meters. The wreck itself sits on a seabed at 60 meters, so a lot of the wreck we spent hovering slightly above the deck, which slopes downwards towards the back of the boat, a bit shallower towards the front where we headed at the minute. As you can see, it's a bit dingy. The clouds had been coming over and it was quite rainy on the day, so we didn't get the best view of the wreck from here. But you can still make out some of the features, and we get closer to the wreck as the dive goes on. So at the minute we're heading towards the bow, having started at about midships. Here we passed one of the masts. The ship itself had 3 masts on it, as well as a variety of fuel dispensing equipment, as this was a fleet oiler. I believe here these 2 pipes involved some of the fueling operations. And we're making our way over the fuel bunkers now. Here we get to some broken superstructure. This wreck has been salvaged, so you can see it's fallen apart a bit here. And on this platform here was this, what looks to be a mount, potentially for a gun, or for those operations. Here we have a 20mm cannon there, pointing straight up towards the surface. And continuing on, we are now almost at the bow of the wreck, as you can see in a second when the camera pans round. Passing over the side, we get to where the anchor is stored, and it's still held in place there, just off the side of the wreck. And then swimming around the bow itself, and panning back to have a shot of the wreck. There's our guide with the side mount cylinders. Swimming against the current for a bit to get off the bow to try and get a shot. But again, not the clearest water in the world for this dive. Then we headed back along, hovering above the deck again. I believe below us there is the mount for what would have been the 3-inch guns. And then getting towards one of the masts, which had a mooring line tied off the top of it. So we made our way up the mast. There's a coral hind there, just hiding away, as well as a couple batfish swimming around, and lots of smaller fish as well. We didn't do any deco on this dive, so did a extra 5-minute safety stop, and then headed to the surface.